Social Security, and the plan to freeze benefits and all future raises for beneficiaries. I have all the details and why are they planning such an extreme move, especially with some of the major changes that came into Social Security as of recently. I have all the details and what is being discussed right now. Let's get into it and talk about what's going on. All right, what a busy year so far we've had for Social Security, but let me ask you a really quick question. When I say the potential plan of freezing benefits and or all future raises for Social Security beneficiaries, does that make you wonder a little bit? I'll be fair with you. Yup, makes me wonder a little bit too. However, especially with what's coming here in a matter of years for Social Security and some of the major changes we've seen so far this year to Social Security, it kind of makes me think that maybe is not like the worst plan in the world, considering they don't have a plan. Now, do I agree with this? Not really, but here's the thing. They don't have a plan on what they're going to do with Social Security over the coming years here, and we know that we have a massive issue on our doorstep, which is called Social Security insolvency. I've talked about that many times before in other videos. I have dedicated videos here on the channel talking about it, but essentially what it means is they completely run out of money. The trust fund is empty and they can only pay out the money coming in through Social Security payroll taxes to the beneficiaries. And what that means is a massive cut between about 17, maybe 21, maybe even 30+%, depending on what reports you look at and the projections out into the future. That would be bad. That'd be really, really bad. Okay, so what's this whole plan about potentially freezing benefits and all future raises to beneficiaries? Let me explain, as well as what recently took place as in at the beginning of this year and what that means for Social Security as a whole. Okay, so what's happening right now? Right now, or I should say every year, for many decades now, we've been receiving the Social Security COLA, which, by the way, this video is not all about the COLA, but it's part of the topic that I want to discuss here. Okay, so what is the COLA? The cost of living adjustment, in other words, the annual raise that we get to our benefit. This year, it was 2.5%. Last year, 3.2%. The last few years here, 8.7%, 5.9%, 1.3%. Not that great, right? But at the end of the day, it's supposed to adjust for how much we pay out as a result of cost of living. Now, here's the situation. This raises benefits. Now, you might be thinking, well, it only raises my benefit by $22 or $12 or $46 or whatever it happens to be, right? As a percentage. But here's the thing. As a result of the COLA, Social Security pays out billions and billions and billions of dollars more every single year because of the little COLA. I know it would seem weird, like there's no possible way they do. They do. They pay out billions of dollars more every year because of the COLA. The higher the COLA goes, the more they pay out, the billions more they pay out in benefits to beneficiaries. It sounds super weird because it's only a few dollars each person. You're right, but it is the fact. Reason being is, there's over 72.5 million people that receive Social Security and that also qualify for the COLA. So we're talking billions of dollars more per year that go out the door of Social Security because of the COLA. Okay, now what did I say earlier? We're dealing with this insolvency issue. In other words, running out of money, and we're running out of money fast, okay? The boat has a leak and the sucker is taking on water. Start bailing, right? Not a good situation. Okay, so anyway, the point is, this idea that they floated is maybe we should completely freeze benefits. In other words, what you're getting is what you're going to get. No more COLAs, right? They've talked about this idea, let's completely cancel the COLA. Stop the COLA. That's what they're saying, right? Now, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong, we like to complain about the COLA because it's only 2.5% or 3.2% like it was last year. I'm right there with you. Love to complain about it. But at the end of the day, it's like a love-hate relationship. We love to complain about it, we hate it secretly, but at the same time, we kind of love it because it does raise our benefit a little bit. But the thing is, if they were to completely freeze benefits and no longer offer the COLA, this would save billions of dollars a year. And remember, it's compounded. So if we get a 2.5% raise this year, like we did, and then if we get another, say, 3% next year, it's all compounded. That 3% is compounded on our higher benefit because of the 2.5% this year. And over long periods of time, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And basically, the outflows get a lot bigger because of the compounding over time with this, right? Following all this? Now, here's the other situation that came in and why this idea is being re-examined here and why they want to, look at this, give it another look, is this. Beginning of the year, remember, way back in the early parts of January, I talked about this. What happened? They signed into law the Social Security Fairness Act. Now, remember, According to the, what was it, CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, this was going to cost $196 billion to Social Security over a 10-year period of time. That's $19.6 billion more per year that's coming out of Social Security that they don't really have to go out the door, right? So this is going to cost a lot of money. Nearly $200 billion over a 10-year period of time is how much more it's going to cost them because of this one law change, right? So the point is, we have now moved insolvency closer to present time right now by about 6 months. That's kind of the conservative view that many people have suggested, is we are now closer to insolvency by at least 6 months. It's 6 months, it's not a ton of time, but that now means that insolvency is going to be here probably around, I don't know, 7.5, maybe 8 years from now, depending on how you look at it, okay? And it depends. There's a lot of moving parts here. If they combine the trust funds, the disability trust fund and the old age and survivors trust fund, that it allows us for another 3 or so years. If they do not combine the trust fund, which by the way, they would have to change the law in order to combine the trust fund. It's illegal to combine them right now, so they'd have to change the law. If they keep them separate trust funds, now we're looking at insolvency in like 2032. So that's like 7 years. You know what I mean? We're not getting that close. I mean, we're not getting that far away. It's getting pretty close here, right? 7.5, maybe 8 years if we're lucky. So that's what they're talking about here, okay? Because of what's going on, no plan for Social Security solvency to make sure that they remain to have enough money, as well as the passage of the Social Security Fairness Act, putting another $200 billion debt load, essentially, of outflows on Social Security over the next 10 years. Now we're looking at, whoa, there goes all the money, and where's it coming from, right? Yeah, that's the situation. So this is kind of the idea that's being floated. Now, what is the viability or the feasibility of something like this happening? I wouldn't put it past them. They love stepping over pennies. Or, sorry, let me say that again. They love stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. And in my opinion, that's exactly what this would be. It would stiff the beneficiary because we wouldn't get our little COLAs every year that we actually kind of look forward to. We would get stiffed as beneficiaries. They would save a few $1 billion a year, which, I mean, I'd love to be able to save a few $1 billion a year, right? How cool would that be, right? It's just chump change. It's just a few billion. Who cares, right? Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. I mean, that's a ton of money. So they do this. But at the end of the day, it's not really going to do much. It might push out the whole insolvency thing by a little bit of time, a few months, maybe a year or so if they're lucky. But it's not going to really fix the whole problem. It's just going to put a little Band-Aid on a big situation that ultimately is going to come inevitably. And then they still have to figure out what's going on with a longer-term plan. So this whole freezing and elimination of the future COLAs, in my opinion, it's an interesting talking point, but it's not really an effective strategy to actually fix the problem. They're not doing anything. They're putting a little tiny Band-Aid on something that needs like a massive surgery. You know what I mean? They got to wrap that sucker up, and they're putting a little tiny Band-Aid on it, right? So that's my opinion about that, but we'll see what happens here, and I'll continue to watch it. But yeah, something I wanted to point out for you real quickly. I hope this helps you to understand the situation here. There's a lot of moving parts, as you can probably tell, and that's just what I wanted to share. Anyway, as always, leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you want to come back and explain this further or jump on a live stream and discuss this or clarify any further, I can do that. Let me know down below in the comment section. Otherwise, if I could ask you a huge favor of you, please, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It is 100% free to do so. Big subscribe button right down below the video. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Also, if you can think of 1 or 2 people that benefit from this video or knowing me and or this channel, can I ask a huge favor, please? Share this video with them. There's a share button down below as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It's totally free to do so. Also, check out the well over 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library, or down below in the description at the top of the comment section. I've hand-selected some videos for you there. Check those out. Or right now popping up on your screen as well, you'll see some videos there. Please, just have a nice day. Have a good one. Thanks so much for being here. Truly appreciate all of you. It's such a wild time we're living through. Anyway, just have a good one, and I hope to see you again soon in the very next